Hi everyone, how are you doing? I don't know how you're doing. You're not commenting, so I don't know. So of course I worry. So take a second to stop by and say, hi, I'm doing well, or hi, I'm not doing well. So I had a question for you. Do any of you do canning or making your own jams? I make freezer jam. Well, I haven't in a while, but I used to make freezer jam. And do you can any kind of, I guess it would be vegetables, I don't know, do you can fruit? And do you freeze, like, I don't know if you go strawberry picking, like we used to go strawberry picking, blueberry picking, raspberry picking, all kinds of apples, plums, apricots, you name it, we did it. This year, of course, we won't. But I was wondering, if you pick, do you freeze any of that? And if you do, how do you freeze things? Like, for example, blueberries. Do you flash freeze them first and then put them in a bag? That's how I do it. Of course, you would wash it and make sure they're all thoroughly dried. How about tomatoes? I've heard people put whole tomatoes in the freezer. Just put it in a baggie and freeze it that way. I don't think I've ever froze tomatoes. My plan was to grow a lot of tomatoes and freeze them, but that's not going to happen. So if I ever can get to a farm market, I would like to buy some fresh tomatoes, and I'll have to look up if you have to blanch them first. So if you do any of this, let me know. Strawberries, what I do is when I used to go pick them, we'd pick them and we'd make all kinds of pies and desserts and freezer jam, and then I'd make sure I had, we had so many strawberries. Oh my gosh, I probably did a vlog on it. We would have hundreds upon hundreds, and it would be all night into the next day and the night doing them. But then I freeze them. Some I freeze whole, some I cut in half, and some I freeze with sugar on them. And of course I mark them so I'll know, because you don't want to put a sugared frozen strawberry in a recipe. Also raspberries, I love frozen raspberries, but the thing with raspberries, you wash everything, of course, but there could be little bugs or worms in there, so that's kind of a pain to do, but I just love frozen raspberries with sugar. You can eat it like when it's still a bit frozen. Oh, so delicious. But I wash them really good, dry them, and I always cut them in half so then I can make sure none of those little buggies are in there. And then I put sugar on it. Then I was wondering if you freeze potatoes. Do you know you can freeze potatoes? I was watching something the other day about it. With the way things are going up in price, like the potatoes, I've noticed things gone up not by 10, 20, 30 cents, by $1, $1, $2. It's getting so out of hand. So I was thinking, with my diet, mashed potatoes is like top of the list. So I was thinking, even though it's $4.09, which is horrible for potatoes, they say the prices will double, which will be $8.18. So if I could get potatoes now, even though my freezer, is making that noise, it's not now. So maybe somehow it was a glitch and it's okay. I don't know. I wish I had, if I had a deep freeze like I used to, I'd be freezing everything. I would already froze potatoes. But you can take potatoes and then, of course, you wash them. Excuse me. You wash them really good. If you have one of those brushes, you use it, or you can use a brand new sponge. But really, wash them good, especially if you grow them. And then you just, parboil them. So some people leave the skin on. I've never done it, but I would take the skin off. So you parboil them, and I don't remember if you flash freeze them first, but you can freeze like the little ones whole, and then again flash freeze them, then put them in a freezer bag, and then you could use those for mashed potatoes. You can cut them up into French fries, either if you have one of those dicer machines or just cut it with a knife. You can cut them into steak fries. And I believe you have to parboil those too. Oh, it was very interesting. I was watching. So if you freeze anything, especially potatoes or sweet potatoes, or I'm pretty sure you could freeze like butternut squash and well, you can freeze sweet potatoes because they used to have them in the store. They were so good, but I haven't seen them in ages. So I'll have to look up. Sometimes they put them on sale, but that's when you're in the store. So I would like to somehow figure how to get to the store and get potatoes and sweet potatoes, because you know you can have mashed potatoes with sweet potatoes too. And I'd like to freeze some. I have a whole bunch of freezer bags I got quite a while ago. So I have all that, so I just have to, do that. So do you freeze any of the things, or do you just buy the frozen vegetables? I'm just afraid things are going to just get, I mean, they're already out of hand, but, even worse, so I'd rather nip it in the bud, as they say. So let me know if you do any kind of freezing, especially if you do canning. I'm always amazed at canning. I know I shared this story before. I took a course, it was called through Cooperative Extension, which is long gone. It was a free place where you could call about food safety, but it's long gone. But I took a class there, and they taught us how to can green beans, and I almost wiped out my whole family with them because they got bad, botulism bad. So I gave up on doing that. I don't trust freezing. I see how people do it, and well, first of all, it's a lot of money, all the supplies you need, but if you already have the supplies and you're doing it, obviously it pays for itself. But, doing it in these water baths, and the seal has to, seal, which everything, it worked perfectly. I did exactly like we did in class, but the beans they were bad. Luckily, we didn't eat them. But I just don't trust it. I think that's a talent you have to have. So, let me know if you do any canning. I'm very amazed. I see people, especially now with what's going on in the world, they can ground beef. I don't know. To me personally, if you do it, that's great. But to me personally, it kind of looks gross. But kudos to people that can do it. I mean, I've seen shelves and shelves of people on YouTube that they have anything and everything canned. And then there's also dehydrated and freeze-dried. But these freeze-dried machines, they're like $10,000 to $20,000. I don't know how people buy them, but I guess if you got the money and you buy it, and you freeze-dry your stuff, that's a good way to save it too. I've always wanted a dehydrator. I had one in my first marriage. Polly loves dehydrated fruit, especially apples, and they're going up in price right now. They're just, I think they're just under $4. So if I had a dehydrator, I'd definitely do a lot of apples for Polly, and then you can store them like in a mason jar. So share anything you do. I'd be very interested. And also, if you know how to make a cherry pie, because I've never been able to make one that's not all runny. So if you have a talent for that and can share the recipe, but I'd be interested to know if you do any of that canning or freezing, or making jams. Freezer jam is really easy to make. I used to make a lot every year. We made the strawberry, of course, and then the raspberry, and I'd put it through a sieve. I never know the word, because I didn't like the little seeds in it, which took a lot of raspberries. So you'd really have to pick them. Like I had in my yard, I used to grow raspberries, so then it was worth it. But if you buy them from a store, even a farm market, it's really, I don't think it's cost effective. I mean, we made a little of that just because it's so delicious. But freezer jam is so easy. If you've never tried it, get it. You just get this stuff called Sure-Jell, and then you need any, you don't need, they do have glass freezing jars. I've never used glass. It's any kind of container that's freezable. Oh, and it's so delicious. Oh, I'm hoping somehow, like I said, I can get to a farm market and get some of that stuff. And I really want to make freezer jam. I haven't made it in ages. And then you can also take I don't know if you have kids or just grandkids, or even for yourself, you know, you take fruit and you put it into popsicle, you know, the homemade popsicle things, or you could probably put them in little Dixie cups. I don't know if they have them, whatever kind of cups that you can freeze, and put a popsicle stick in. And you could either put 7-Up, which, you know, would be more calories, or just water, and put fruits in there. And also, I want to try to freeze pudding in the popsicle things. I have popsicle things. So if you have any good recipes for that, freezing, you know, fruits or pudding or whatever else you would. And the most important thing, does anyone have a copycat Dole Whip? There's something you get at Disney World. I found one recipe, which, no promises, but if I can do it, I'm going to show you guys. I had it once long ago, and all I remember it was really good. So if you have that recipe, let me know. So comment below on what kind of wonderful, what's the word I'm searching for? Talent you have. Because I'd really like to try certain things. Like I think I said in one video, I want to learn how to make sourdough. I've been watching, actually I didn't watch one. It says a starter where you don't have to throw stuff away, and you don't have to, I forgot what the other thing. But with sourdough, you got to make a starter, and you got to feed it, and then you got to take half out and waste it, and then feed it some more, and then feed it twice a day, and waste some more. I mean, once you do the initial thing, and every time after you make it, you save, I don't know what you save. Do you save some of the starter? No, I think you take, no, you wouldn't take it when you mix. I don't know. I haven't got deep into that. So if anyone makes sourdough, could you let me know if you have a easiest recipe? Polly loves bread, and we love sourdough bread, and I wanted to try to make homemade for him with, put avocados on top of it. So let me know if you have any talent. So for now, don't forget to subscribe. Write some comments down, anything. If you don't do any of this, fine. Just write so I know how you're doing. And, you know, I enjoy reading about how you're doing, what's going on. You know, you're probably all frustrated with what's going on in the world, but put that aside for a minute and comment. And let's have some chatter between us all and some talking. But hopefully someone does some of this thing and could give me some ideas or some help. But I will let you know, or, you know, do a video if I get to it, or at least let you know about the starter thing if I finish. And do you like sourdough? And what is your favorite bread? Let me know. And press the like button. It really helps the algorithm, which shares my channel, because I always get to this point of 741 and then I lose some subscribers, and I just can't get past that number for whatever reason. So if you can press the like, it would really help. And I think when you comment, it helps. I'm not sure, but anything would probably help. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. Be kind to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. I did a video asking about, you know, what you do nice for yourself, and about the worrying, 15 minutes of worrying. So please write something so I know you're okay. And, you know, comment on videos, because, you know, I take the time to do them, then I don't hear back from you, and it, you know, I love doing it. I'm going to continue to do it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like doing a job. You go to work, and then you expect your paycheck on Friday, and you don't get it. Not that you owe me any comments, but, you know, I miss talking to you guys. And if you're not talking, at least comment why you're not talking so I know. And if there's anything I need to improve, let me know. So for now, thanks for stopping by, and stay safe.